Hello everyone. I already have a question to you all. What do you cherish in your daily life? Have you ever thought about something like, by changing our perspective, we can change our life for better or can be worse? Today I would like to talk about this topic with my own personal experience, and I hope to give you plenty of tips, and so you can take it as little souvenirs with you today. I considered moving from my familiar environment back in Japan to Austria was the biggest mistake of my life. It's been 5 years since I regretted it and thought about that time. I was quite a popular figure back in Japan, but the moment I attempted the entrance exam or entrance test for an international school, my mind went totally blank. It was my first taste of failure in my life. That's right, I was someone who could not speak a word of English. As my academic journey, I was supposed to start academic journey in English. So that's how my journey started with zero English. I vividly remember feeling so overwhelmed on my first day of school, feeling sick, ended up in principal's office, drinking water, and waited for my mom to pick me up. As she picked me up, I unleashed all of my negative factors. Why did I come here? Why I needed to transfer to an English school? Why I ended up here, and so on. I was expecting some gentle words from my mother, but as you know, life is not so easy. She told me to shift my focus and to think about how I can improve myself. However, if I realize it would have been scary if she has joined me feeling sorry for myself. In fact, her slightly rough or tough but positive advice has saved me many times in different occasions. By changing the way how we express ourselves can drastically change the meaning of words. In fact, in addition, by speaking positively can even change our lives. By the way, I have a trustworthy home doctor who has been there for me since I was born. That time I asked him, with that time's depressed feeling, and the question he asked to me is, what do you cherish in your daily life? Honestly, that time with my state of mental condition, I didn't really care about the question. Then he shared with me some fascinating information. So let me ask you all, what do you think is necessary to live a healthy, happy, long life? The information I'm about to show you is a good news for my friends here, but also for people with more experienced people, like teachers and parents. So this is the official experimented data about what influence one's healthy and happy life. So on x-axis, the scale is from 0 to 6. The greater the number, the greater the influence it has on the health, on the lifespan, and the longevity of life. So let's say being overweight has an impact of 2. If you're overweight, that's how much impact it has. Let's say that's our benchmark, our base. So what are we going to do if we are overweight? We exercise. And if you don't exercise or do physical movements, that negatively affects life slightly more than being overweight. Drinking alcohol on average is also considered unhealthy, and that impacts about 3. We often hear smoking is bad. That's almost, and on average, have double the impact of being overweight. So I assume that those 4 factors are pretty familiar to all of you, but I would like to introduce one new factor which has become more apparent over the last 20 to 30 years, which is people, connections, and social relationships. So if you lack social relationship or people connection, that's how much it impacts negatively your life, more than any other factors, which we don't consciously think about in our daily life. It's said that people with close connections with families or friends are more like or lead to reduction to their stress, or people belonging to various social communities are able to create their own identity and therefore leading to healthier and more balanced life. The importance of social relation to the people connection and establishing a functional social relationship has a significant impact on vitality and longevity compared to smoking or drinking alcohol. We don't consciously think about often, but the value of perspectives and social and emotional competencies when interacting with others or families, in school, in our jobs, in society in general. When we think about social relationships, we become more aware of it during or facing crisis. In Japan, half of my homeland, we experience a lot of natural disasters. It is those times that we actually feel people connections and social relationship the most. The almost natural positive reaction to try to help and support others, providing them with mental encouragement. In my personal side, I became more aware of social relationship when I faced my own little crisis. That time when I felt isolated due to my inability to speak English. Let's consider this. If your friend is being hospitalized due to illnesses or injuries, I assume all of you would make a visit to them at least once. But very rarely, friends will make a visit to them twice or even 3 times. This is a well-known study about people being hospitalized due to myocardial infarction and how the number of visitors affect their mortality rate. So it will indicate that number of visitors or sources of emotional support has a significant impact on their mortality rate. So if the number of visitor or the number is 0, their rate is 69%. But the moment increases to just 1 visitor, it reduces significantly. And if the number of visitors exceeds 2 people or even more, it reduces drastically, as you can see in the graph. So although they are hospitalized for the exact same condition and their heart condition, by just changing the number of visitors can alter a lot the mortality rate. So think about yourselves. If you are to be hospitalized, how many friends do you think will make a visit to you twice or even 3 times? So I see some teachers in attendance today as well. And I would like to ask students a question. Please raise your left hand. Please raise it now. And please, the question is, after graduating, if you would like to visit the school again and come and make a visit to 3 or more teachers, please lower your hand. Oh, I see. Oh, I must say a lot of visitors. It's very interesting. That's a quick visualization of the current state of connection, the social relationships between students and teachers. I am, and so is my friends, we are IB grade 11 students where we face many assessments and things to do. As you may think, why am I spending my extra time for today's TED Talk? Well, I wanted to challenge myself in various fields and to make people connections, to face new challenges with positive mindset and to build social relationships. So let me summarize my point today. So I would like to ask you all the same question. What do you cherish in your daily life? The more friends we have, the more energetic we feel. Let us embark on a new endeavor, not only to enrich our life, but also to build, to expand our social circle together. Thank you very much.